Boom, 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 boom.
Boom.
Hey, yo. Boom. Griselda. The butcher's coming.
I'm scared.
What would she
Dillon's
do?
scared. Right. Everyone's going to be confused right now. So, welcome to Media Nest. Welcome to episode 9 of Media Nest, I should say.
Lovely.
The podcast where we discuss films and albums. I got it right this week, at least.
Films
Yeah,
and movies.
Films
yeah.
and movies.
Yeah, films and movies. I
Yeah.
swear you were the only one who noticed that, Brad. If you didn't tell me, no one would have known. Okay, so this week, obviously, I am joined by Dillon
Hello.
and Brad.
Shop.
Yep. And this week we are going to be discussing Dillon's film recommendation, which was 2019's The Lighthouse, and my album recommendation, which I gave you a little snippet of in the introduction.
Oh, was that you? I thought that was the album.
Oh no, I just started playing a recording, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And that is Griselda, What Would Chinegun Do? Also
Love that.
from 2019 episode, this one. Okay,
Lovely.
so
On the modern
Dillon,
day
if you
teams.
want to
Throwback.
introduce our film this week.
So, like you said, this film, 2019, The Lighthouse, directed by Robert Eggers and stars
Mhm.
Patterson and Willem Dafoe.
Yep.
Yeah, so this
Lads.
movie. So Brad, you'd never heard of this movie,
That's
I'm
correct.
guessing? Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Adam, and you'd watched it, right?
I've seen the film before, yeah, but I must admit that the film was released in the US in 2019,
Yeah.
but for some reason it was distributed in the UK like way later, and you could basically not see it because I wanted to see it in the cinema. So let's just say I watched the film by
Yeah,
other means.
fair enough.
And it
Nefarious.
wasn't the best quality. And obviously, with a film that is entirely
Yeah.
black and white and like 1:1 ratio, it was quite hard to see a lot of the film and understand what they were saying when I first saw it. So I always really wanted to watch it again. So I was gassed
There we
when
go.
you suggested.
So
it,
I had
basically.
heard of this movie through my mate. So me working in a cinema, my cinema actually played it, which is shocking. I know.
Oi.
So my friends had the full experience of watching it in the cinema, and I can honestly say I'm very jealous. Very jealous.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah,
loved that.
because
That would have been incredible.
yeah, this movie, without spoiling too much of what I thought about it, it's filmed on black and white film, and as you said, it's a 1:1 aspect ratio. So it's basically a square.
Pretty much.
It's basically a square on the screen.
Yeah, it's completely unique in that as well. Like I've never seen a film that looks like
Yeah.
this.
So they apparently did that to kind of create a kind of like a claustrophobic feel to it. So but yeah, so I've heard a lot from my friends saying that this movie is a must watch. Now, a few of them loved it, as in like loved it, and a few of them had to watch it once more or even twice more to kind of absorb it. And it's definitely a movie that's more like, what was that movie we watched with the French one?
Climax.
Yeah, so I feel like it was like Climax in the sense that it was a very artsy movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just start off. Brad, you've just watched this movie, okay? You've sat there, you've just watched this movie. What are your thoughts running through your head?
What are you laughing for already?
What are your thoughts directly after watching this movie?
I mean, bear in mind, me and Brad watched this film together, and obviously I could gauge his reaction a little bit. So I'm not entirely sure what to expect right now, but I've got an idea.
So what was the runtime on this film?
Hour and 50 minutes.
Hour 50, yeah. It was about hour 50, yeah? Right?
It's not bad.
I checked the film, right, at 1 hour, 11 minutes, right?
Absolutely.
I remember that exactly because I was specifically wanted to know what time I was looking at this film. I felt like I've been watching this fucking film for 4 hours at that point, right?
Really?
Oh,
Jesus Christ, it's so fucking boring.
Oh,
We've
just been cancelled.
There we go.
This film is so apparently boring.
We
Like,
got to
okay.
episode 9. Here we go.
No, I'm not even joking you, right? So I was
Right.
the first 10 minutes had me intrigued, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a few weird it introduced some weird stuff immediately. There's logs floating in the water, there's a body, you're like, all right, cool, this is gonna get interesting. And then for the next hour, nothing fucking happens. Literally nothing happens. He cleans a little bit, right? You see him having a couple back and forths, and then he eventually feels like he's gonna have a couple drinks, right? For and the whole hour of this film, nothing happens. All it is, I will say, right, is that the acting between the two and the chemistry is very good.
Incredible.
Okay? Right?
I
especially
think very
especially
good
Willem Dafoe,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe in this film was incredible. Okay, right?
Bro.
But right, the plot line was fucking poor.
Wow.
I mean, let me just follow up on that comment on Willem Dafoe as well, right?
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe, this was the role he was born to play. He is genuinely incredible in this. Like one of my favorite acting performances because he's literally like perfect for it. He is perfectly cast, and he was snubbed. Like he didn't get nominated for an Oscar for his performance in this.
Unbelievable.
He 100% should have been nominated at least.
Just
fucking amazing.
The entire especially Willem Dafoe, but both of them.
Yeah,
it is some of the best acting I've ever seen.
Yeah,
ever.
I'd agree with that.
It's so just raw, like the entire time. It just feels like they're not even acting.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
I mean, if you read some of the backstories, it pretty much wasn't acting because they were actually just on the lighthouse in terrible conditions, freezing themselves to death. So, Brad, you might not know this, but Willem Dafoe decided to just like live in a cabin on this island during like a fucking torrential downpour just to like get into character. Basically, he turned into that character. He was literally that character.
That's great. That's fantastic.
It was amazing.
The character performance was good. I just said this.
No.
Just
I mean,
the backstory for this is that so that this island exists, right?
Yeah.
And all the buildings were built purposefully for this movie. So like the set, the lighthouse especially, they built a scale lighthouse, an actual big ass lighthouse for this movie, right?
Yeah.
So in all the scenes where there's like torrential rain and all of that, all of those scenes, there was no like water or like wind machines. It was them in sub-zero conditions in a storm filming this movie, which is insane. Yeah, like you said, Adam, this almost wasn't acting. It was just them genuinely being the characters.
It was just pointing the camera at these two guys who had just like become 1800s lighthousemen, you know?
It's fucking insane. Absolutely insane.
Just quickly on that point, I understand that Brad says nothing happens for the first hour of the film. Like, he's kind of right. He's kind of wrong at the same time.
Literally nothing happens.
It depends what you see.
You could say they're building character, but the character development was so boring.
I wouldn't even say that they're building character.
I disagree there. From my point of view, the whole film, I'm not bored at all. I am captivated by these two characters.
I was sat there just like mouth open, catching flies, just fucking in awe of just what they're building. Like, you can just see the descent into fucking chaos.
Into madness, but they're just
honestly,
like, if you're bored during those dialogue scenes, then I can understand that. But for me, from my point of view, every single time Willem Dafoe was on screen or there was like some weird shit going on, I was just loving it. I was completely like entrenched in the film. Like, I didn't even know what was going on outside.
Let's just discuss though, right? How much weird stuff actually happens?
A lot.
There's not that much that goes on. There's not that much that goes on.
The thing is with this film, right? I think it's important to note early on that this film is not traditional at all. It is completely different to any other film, right? And to me, the film can be taken either as completely literally, like two lighthousemen on a rock going mad.
Yeah.
It can be taken that way. Or there's loads of different pathways the film could be leading you in.
Yeah. You can let the film lead you however you want it to lead you. Yeah.
It's interpretable, and to me, I was constantly thinking, like, especially on first watch, I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And it was like, are they the same person? Is one of them real? Is one of them not real? Have they been on this island for like 2 days? Have they been there for 2 years?
Yeah.
I was literally the whole time just thinking, what is happening, and that didn't bore me. That kept me entertained for
I feel like that's kind of the purpose of the film, is just to have you have more questions at the end rather than answers.
Oh god, yeah.
So
100%.
actually, on that point, Brad, the director did actually change the script from being a bit more easy to understand, so that it was more confusing and interpretable to the audience, because he didn't want it to be cut and dry.
Also, along with that point, like, even the ending, so obviously spoilers, but the ending where he manages to climb up into the lighthouse. So they purposely wrote nothing for the script for what he was looking at. There's nothing, there is no answer to what is up there and what was so fantastical about up there. It's just everything is open to however you want it to be, which I enjoyed, because the entire time in my mind I was creating more in the world. Do you know, I was world building in my head.
No, it pissed me off.
I agree. I mean, to be fair, I thought, as soon as you suggested this film, Dillon, because this is a film that I've seen previously and I loved it first time I watched it. I like your friends, I genuinely thought it was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I've got some different opinions that we'll get into after anyway. But I was not going to suggest this film to you two, because it's so weird, and it's
not that weird.
It's polarizing.
No, it is. It is weird.
It's not. It really
isn't. It's completely different to any other film ever made.
In my opinion, this film doesn't go anywhere near far enough.
See, that's that. I'll get onto that, Brad. But just quickly, right? I would not recommend this to the majority of people.
Yeah.
Because
it's not for the majority of people.
That Brad would find this boring, you know?
Yeah.
And I can understand 100% whether people find this the most boring film in the world, or this film is the best film ever made. It's like one of them films.
Yeah.
It's very divisive.
Very divisive. Like, I watched this with my roommate and my girlfriend, and Danielle hated it. She was there, bored shitless, and at the end she was like, "Oh, is that it?"
Yeah, literally.
But for me, I was like, "Wait, is that it? Like, I wanted more. Like, I wanted it to keep going. It could have gone for another hour, and I'd have been happy."
I agree.
No,
I agree with Dillon here. I'm genuinely surprised how much you enjoyed it, though, Dillon.
So am I.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it's one of those things where. So again, like that French movie, I keep forgetting its name.
Climax.
It's like Climax. It's one of those movies where you either get it or you don't.
To me, it had more relation to Possum than anything.
It did remind me of Possum as well.
Very So again, like Possum, it's either you just hate it or you love it. And for me, I don't know what it was. It definitely helped the fact that those two acting in it was some of the greatest acting I've ever seen.
Definitely, yeah. Honestly, to me, what Brad is saying though, the film would not have worked at all without them.
With anyone else.
Like, imagine replacing Willem Dafoe. He's so captivating. Those dialogue scenes might have been boring if it wasn't Willem Dafoe, but every single thing he said, I was like,
can we at least agree that although Patterson's performance was all right, it was good, right? Defoe definitely carries him in this film.
Not carries. I wouldn't say
carries.
I wouldn't say
carries. Carries not that far.
Nah.
He held his own. He definitely held his own.
He held his own against Willem Dafoe, but Willem Dafoe is unbelievably good.
Yeah, honestly, it's like if you're watching a football match of like Celtic versus Barcelona. Like, you can appreciate Celtic doing bits, but Barcelona are just fucking, you know?
Yeah, it's like comparing Messi to any other football player. It's like he's doing his best to keep up, but Messi's still going to be the best.
Honestly.
Okay, right. But can we also talk about Robert Pattinson's 17 different vocal performances?
No, it wasn't though. See, Brad brought this
Bruv,
up
I
while we
think-
were watching the film.
No, he changed his voice
He
like
didn't
17
change his
times. I
voice.
swear
His
to
accent
you.
way.
was like that the whole
I
time. It was
swear
just
to you.
weird.
No, I swear to you. His voice changed on so many occasions. I didn't know what accent he was trying to do in the end.
It
No.
wasn't changing though. It was like that the whole time because
I
the
thought his
director
accent was
told
really
him.
good.
The director was using like accent coaches and like old books from that time,
Yeah.
and he was like spot on for like an 1890s
At first, I thought he
Yeah.
was trying to be
Canadian
Irish.
Boston thing.
It was a New England accent.
Yeah, it was like a bit Boston-y and a bit Canadian.
Yeah.
If you went
Yeah.
there, it'd probably sound that fucked up anyway. To be
Yeah, like
honest.
Rhode Islandy kind of.
I
but
found
no.
it a little bit distracting at the beginning, but once you get into that character, I completely forgot that he even had an accent. I was just like, this is a real
that
person.
played on me the entire film.
Really?
That's fair enough. That is
I
fair
think
enough,
the
to be fair.
accent it kind of just added more to it for me.
No, I feel like he did a really poor job with that accent.
Wow.
Fair enough.
I remember watching this and thinking both of their like voices are so spot on. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Now, Willem Dafoe, right? His portrayal, his voice, everything, right? Yeah, I'd give that a 10 out of 10.
He got
right?
robbed.
Because
He got
you
robbed of
literally
awards.
cannot fault it.
Absolutely.
Right? But yeah, got robbed of awards. But I mean, it's just Robert Pattinson does good, but the accent annoys me. Like I couldn't get past it. I was
Fair
like,
enough.
He's changing his voice every time I hear him talk.
I don't agree with that, but that's
I
fair enough.
disagree, but that is fair, yeah. But
Yeah.
also, here's the thing about Robert Eggers, right? Because it's
Yeah.
important to talk about him as a director.
Yeah.
You two have never seen his debut film, The Witch, have you?
I have.
No.
Oh, have you seen The
I
Witch?
have seen The
So
Witch.
this is basically his niche.
Yeah.
So what he likes to do is he likes to film like stuff in an old style where people use time specific dialogue. So I think in The Witch it's like the Salem witch periods. I think it's like the late 1600s, 1700s
yeah.
or whatever. And they speak with that specific dialogue and that
And it's
specific
fantastic.
accent. And obviously in this it's like they have to speak like
Yeah.
lighthousemen and
With
like
the
sailors from that
colloquialisms
time.
and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like if you go into this film expecting a
No.
normal film, then you're either going to find it terrible or just be massively confused at what
Yeah.
the fuck's going on, because The Witch is the same. I've like spoke to people who've seen The Witch and they say it's the worst
Right.
film ever made. And then like me and a couple of other people are like, this
I
is
would
amazing.
just
What
like
the
to
fuck?
interject that. I do not like The Witch. I thought this is
Fair
yeah,
enough, but you
that's
like
the thing.
this.
That's
Yeah,
what's confusing me about this movie
yeah.
is the fact that I should like The Witch, but I don't. I've watched it, I think, twice
That's
as
fair.
well,
Hmm.
because everyone says it's good. But I think this is what his second directorial.
Second
Unbelievable.
film, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. On that point, actually, right? Can I just ask
Yeah.
Brad?
Oh,
Okay, because you've said you found the film
Yeah.
boring. Or whatever,
100%.
right? Did you at least find the film like well made, well crafted?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was badly made. Like I said, it was just like so at the start, you got the weird shit that kind of happens. Some of the weird bits that happen. You got the logs in the water. You got a body in there. There's the mermaid he keeps trying to fuck, right? And right, you're like, all right, cool, yeah, he's doing his thing.
There is mermaid sex.
And then
in this
for
film.
ages, that feels like an eternity, right? There is nothing that happens, and then towards the end, you get a little more
stuff
angry.
does happen,
It
though.
doesn't.
Stuff
Nothing
does happen.
happens. Literally
It
nothing
does.
happens.
You've got the beef with the seagull.
Yeah.
You've got the
Come on.
wanking. You've got the octopus shit. You've got the
Honestly.
storm coming in. You've got the missing the ship, and then like a day
Okay,
later,
right. Just to
Willem
interject,
Dafoe is
right?
like, it's been
the
weeks
the
since
storm.
Yeah.
they
The
left."
storm was as predictable as you could get in a film, right?
What
Yeah,
do you
well, that's
mean
because it's
predictable?
because he caused the storm. Remember,
But,
he
yeah,
killed
it
the
was-
bird. Killing a bird is bad
Wait,
luck.
what do you mean
It
predictable?
was predictable.
Like,
It was like, oh look, you're
didn't
going
even-
home today. Oh wait, no,
That
you're not.
wasn't
There's
even
a
in the script.
storm.
that wasn't even in the script, though, Brad. The fucking storm just happened, and they decided to film it.
Yeah.
No, but come on, you're what? So you're telling me that at some point in this film, and they were like, oh, he's actually just going to go home.
No, I'm just saying they literally didn't plan out the storm. It was just a real storm that happened. And
Yeah.
they filmed through it. But like you cannot say the film is predictable. The
Yeah, and
one
also,
thing I
you
will argue
knew-
to death. There is no way it's predictable.
You knew at least one
No.
person was going to die as well. That was predictable.
I feel like you're just looking at the by the numbers plot, what it is on paper, and you're not considering any other alternatives. Like you're like, oh, it's predictable. There's a storm, but like, why is the storm there? Because he fucking killed a gull, and you don't mess with gulls because they're the spirits.
Yeah, and he already told them earlier on in the film,
right?
oh,
Sailors.
don't fuck around with gulls. They're a bad thing.
And then at the end of the film, right? Spoilers. The gull is chewing on his liver, which is basically a redoing of what's it called? Prometheus, the Greek tale of Prometheus, right? And that gull is missing an eye, and the old lighthouse partner was also missing an eye. Yeah. So there's little hints going on.
But also,
you're just saying, oh, it's predictable because one of them died, right? But that didn't happen until like 2 minutes to the end of the film.
The ending scene is fucking stupid as well.
How? Right.
How is it
okay?
stupid?
So before the scene beforehand, right? He falls down a lighthouse staircase, right?
Yeah.
Right. He is fully clothed at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
There is no way he rolled all the way fucking out the lighthouse, unclothed himself, and then decided to sit on a rock to be eaten to death by gulls.
Literally.
No. Here's what you're doing. You're thinking too fucking out of the box artistically.
Potentially.
Right?
Potentially. But that is what the film has.
That's what it allows.
Those elements in there.
I feel like the film allows you to interpret it more. For example, here's what I thought. I thought he fell down. He's obviously tried to get up, save himself.
Decided he was going to kick his shorts off and pull his wang out. Yeah.
No,
but
the
seventh time in the film. By the way, I also read about this film, right? That they actually had a scene where they showed his penis.
Yeah, but they just got rid.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, but no,
they were very wanted to get that penis out. Let's say.
Yeah, but no, I think so. He fell down the lighthouse. He's still knocking about. He's tried to get up. He's tried to get back into the house. He's tripped or something, fell into the water, got washed up, kind of, and he's just getting eaten alive. That's what I think. That may have taken hours, even a day.
That final shot is entirely metaphorical. It's not actually happening because he sees the light. Okay, so the story of Prometheus is that he steals the light from the gods, and then he's punished by birds eating out his liver, and then it resets every night, and that is his eternal torture.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole film to me is in Robert Pattinson's head. I feel like none of what is happening, all the weird shit, the mermaids, it's all just him finding clues around the lighthouse, and he's just acting on those because he's just going insane.
That makes sense.
He has the mermaid, he finds that on his first night, he finds the mermaid doll, and then a few scenes later, you don't know how much time has passed, because that's another thing with this film. Time passes and you don't know what day it is. Because Willem Dafoe keeps trolling him by saying, like, what day is it today? Has it been days, weeks, months? And he's just like completely confused, right? And you're confused with it. But like, he finds that mermaid, and then next scene he's like wanking over a real mermaid. Then he's like having sex with a mermaid. And he's like paranoid about the light because Willem Dafoe won't let him see it. To me, the film could be interpreted as just all being in his head.
Yeah.
And none of it's real. So like when you're questioning the final scene, like, oh, how could his clothes fall off? And then suddenly he's getting eaten by a crow. That's only if you're thinking about it literally.
Yeah.
Because like that wouldn't make sense, obviously. But a lot of the film doesn't make sense on purpose. And maybe I'm giving it too much credit.
But see, what you've said there, potentially what's happening is that all the weird shit is just in his head, and then all the normal shit is just happening.
Yeah, but then even the normal shit is weird. Like a lot of the dialogue between the two doesn't really like make sense on a real level. Like the spill the beans thing, and then scenes later, spill the beans is still like echoing through the thing, and you're like, what the fuck does spill the beans mean? And then obviously from that point on, the film is when he turns on Willem Dafoe and starts like fucking trying to kill him and going completely mental.
Yeah.
It could just be him going insane. Like you don't know. You never know. It
obviously is what's happening. Insane. I mean, he's clearly lost his mind from the time he started fucking a mermaid. So I mean,
yeah, but then also, to me, I don't know if Robert Pattinson is real or if Willem Dafoe is real. Which character you're meant to be following, and who's actually telling the truth? Because they're both lying to each other, and like scenes just sort of go into a next one, and you're just
They're
like,
clearly
wait,
both
why are we here
insane.
now? They might both not be real. None of it could
Yeah.
be real. That's the thing.
Then what's the
They
That's
could
point?
what I
both
liked
just be
about it.
figments of someone's imagination. Who fucking knows?
Literally.
Yeah.
Look, this film for me was too pretentious for its own good. So
That's fair enough. That
Fair.
is fair enough.
I completely like that's fair. That is
Yeah.
fair because honestly, if I would have watched this film maybe a year ago, I'd be in the exact same boat as you. I feel like it is a wanky film. It is a very wanky film.
I feel like it depends on what you get out of movies like this, because I like a thinker. I like to be thinking
Yeah.
during a film, like, what's happening now? Wait, what
Yeah.
could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? But if you look at it just as that literal two sailors going insane, then it might be boring. You know?
that's literally all it is, though.
It's not all it is, though,
It
because you've got loads of
is.
stuff in there.
That's
There's
literally all it is.
I
It's
feel
two
there's a
sailors
lot of
going insane
layers
on
to
a
this.
rock.
Yeah, but that's if you look at it that way. But you can also look at it loads of other ways.
No, that's people just that's just people being like, oh look, this film is so much more than that. It's about
is, though.
depth. It's
No, it
about
is, though. It
characters. It's about the
definitely is.
mind. It's fucking brilliant. And I'm just like,
It
it's about two
definitely is,
dudes
though.
who go fucking crazy on a rock. That's all this film is.
Nah,
But
I would like
you
to
not
disagree.
agree? Would you not agree though that the film is interpretable? You interpreted it as just being that, but you're telling me there's no elements at all in there that can be interpreted as something else.
That's a no.
That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say.
See, my criticisms of the film that I didn't pick up on the first watch and was like more on the second watch is kind of slightly towards what Brad's saying, and that is I wanted more. So basically, this film you can tell is heavily inspired by David Lynch. All of the weird, like surrealist stuff, and the you don't entirely know what's going on. That is very David Lynch, like Twin Peaks, you know. But I wanted it to be weirder because second time around, the first time I was making all my different interpretations. I was like, what if Willem Dafoe's not real? What if they're the same person? What if it's about alcoholism? All of this stuff, right? Second time, it did seem like that was me projecting my thoughts on it a bit too much. And as Brad said, like, okay, I know I argued it, but you can see it as just a standard, they're on there going crazy. And to me, I would have preferred if it just went completely insane. And
See, that's what I would have preferred.
Shit.
Because what if we had like a mermaid come on scene with like a shotgun and start shooting up the house? Now that would be more interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't enjoy that, but I know what you're saying.
But just go if you're going crazy, go balls to the wall, is what you're saying. Just make it so it's almost too much.
So I like the part where he is having dreams about some weird shit. I was like, that's cool, right? We should have seen more of that, right?
Yeah.
And then also like some of the weird things that were happening, but they replayed them a couple times throughout the film. They didn't develop new ideas, right?
That's kind of fair, yeah.
So for me, it didn't go anywhere near far enough. If there was like when he was like pulling coals and like going up the rocks or something, and you saw some other weird shit, like it would have been far more interesting. What if like the last person that was on the island started walking around? And he was like, "What the fuck's he doing here?" That would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Agreed.
No, that is how I agree, but I feel like we're on like different levels of that because you're like completely like, nah, this was not that good. Whereas I'm like, it was a slight detraction from me, where I would have liked a bit more leaning towards the surreal side. Whereas on second watch, it did seem there was interpretable elements, but also it could have been more. There definitely could have been more stuff.
Bit too tame, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and also it's difficult to put this in a genre because it's listed as a horror film.
It's not a horror.
Yeah, it's not really a horror film. It's a psychological drama, I guess.
It's definitely not a thriller. So
it's not a thriller. Psychological drama sounds about right, but even then,
I would have appreciated more horror, like more horror elements. You could have really played up the isolated on an island weird shit happening.
It's like
none
seeing
of the film was
shit,
scary.
hearing shit. Yeah.
Joe, one more thing I want to say about this film as well. During some of the very long dialogue scenes, right? It felt like a play.
Yeah, but also I love them scenes. They were like my favorite scenes.
I mean, like, there was one dialogue scene, right, where Willem Dafoe was going off on one, like spouting some absolute fucking nonsense for a solid 10 minutes, right?
That
without
was
even Robert Pattinson even saying anything. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, cool, he's gonna get to the point eventually, right? And then he's still talking. Then I'm like, no,
I think I know.
It's gonna end in a second. And I'm like,
no,
he's still talking. Right?
That scene,
and then I'm like, actually, no, surely in 2 more minutes he's gonna be done. Still talking.
Right. That scene was filmed once, right? They filmed it once in one take. And the entire time, I think it was 2 minutes, 40 seconds or some shit, he did not blink.
Yeah.
The entire
scene. He also didn't shut up. I swear he didn't breathe either.
I think that was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
He just was spitting bars for days. He was going off.
I feel that's like where we differ from Brad, because he was bored during that scene. Yeah. I was on the edge of my seat.
Honestly,
like, Willem Dafoe
he
is
went
so
too far.
That I don't know how you could be bored during that. I was just
honestly,
what the fuck?
Like, he's cursing you with the fucking trident of Poseidon or some shit.
Yeah. Also, Brad's mentioned to me after that scene, he was like, did this man really put a curse on him just because he didn't like his cooking?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just basically ignored him because, that's pretty much bang on. But that's why the film is funny.
I mean, that was spot on. Let's not lie.
Yeah, so the thing is that this film was, it was more comedic, but they put elements like music and little like sounds and stuff here and there to make it more of a serious kind of film. So there was funny moments where you could laugh in some situations, but they make it so it's a bit more dark, a bit bristly, you know?
Yeah, I feel like you're not meant to take
too
him
seriously
cursing him because he insulted his lobster too seriously. I feel
he's
like
just a drunk old man rambling.
That's like something that Willem Dafoe would do. Yeah.
Do you like my lobster though? Do you like my lobster?
You briefly mentioned the music, Dillon. What did you guys think of the music?
Boring.
For me, I didn't notice much of it. There was a lot I didn't notice, like music-wise. What I did notice was like sound effects. Like, obviously they were right by the sea, and you always heard like the waves crashing. The foghorn. Fucking hell.
Yeah, constant.
It's
just constant.
That foghorn is unnerving. It's to a point where it sounds like, I don't know what, like almost like if you watch an alien film and you're seeing like a UFO just like coming down, you got that vibration kind of like going almost through your bones. That's what it felt like. You got that along with the seagulls constantly there, the sea constantly smashing up against the rocks. Like, it just it puts you in the house. For me, it just puts you in the scene every time.
I feel like everything from like the set to the weather to the music to the foghorn, it all for me just put me there. Like, as you just said, I felt like I was on that rock going insane with them.
I mean, there wasn't really much to. I mean, what was really that great about the music? I mean, really.
Bro, they utilized like the sounds of the Lighthouse.
Yeah, but that's what you'd expect in a film called The Lighthouse.
Oh my days.
There was nothing out of the ordinary about some waves crashing against a rock or a lighthouse making some fucking foghorn noises.
Fair.
I mean, Brad, if this film was directed by Michael Bay, would you have preferred it? If they started fighting at the end with a fucking axe and it was like,
no. You're missing.
You would
have
been like, this is amazing.
You're missing the point where I think this film would be better, right? This film would be better if it was more crazy, right? But not in a way where they're like fighting with lightsabers. Okay.
All right. I just wanted to make sure.
No, it's
fair enough.
For me, like the sound and especially the cinematography, just it's just even parts where they're just like filming the waves and whatever filming they did. I know they used like new cameras, lots of old cameras, old lenses, all of that. So the way I described it is that it was crispy. Like everything was so crisp. Brad, you got to admit that it looked incredible. It looked more than HD.
I haven't discredited that.
Okay.
It does look
I
good.
thought you said, yeah. It's just it was mind blowing for me. It was mental. I've never seen a movie that looked so
good in black and white. That's the interesting part, isn't it?
Even better in black and white. It would have the movie would be shit if it was in color, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that I mentioned David Lynch before. This film has taken inspiration from Eraserhead. You two have definitely never seen that, but some of our fans might know, you know. But that's all black and white. But that's like, it's almost not black and white, if you know what I mean, because the lighting is so high and it looks so crisp. You see old black and white films and it just kind of looks grainy, like a bit shitty. Whereas this is like the whites are so white.
And the blacks are so dark
out the screen. I genuinely think I'll go out on a limb and say this. This is probably like the best looking film I've seen in years.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of new films,
it
looks incredible.
I think it got robbed of the Oscar. So it got nominated for an Oscar.
Nominated, yeah.
But 1917 won that.
That's trash, bro. They shot some long shots. Oh
yeah,
let's give them the Oscar. This film, cinematography wise and just like camera work, is incredible.
1917 is
unbelievable.
Film,
oh, I'm leaving. Okay,
right.
Bye, guys.
This is see you later.
This is why I've never recommended this film. Nice one, Dillon. Look what you've done.
Oh no, I'm sorry, but no. So I don't know what else to say about this film. It's, for me, such a good movie, and I can't wait to watch it again. Because although on second watch it may seem a bit more tame, like I've thought about it, and now that I've got thoughts in my head of what everything could mean, if I watch it again, maybe I can piece together some shit. I don't know. I feel like a wanky arsehole speaking right now. I feel like I've turned into something I hate.
Dillon. when I say it wasn't as good second watch, it was more because the first I like literally didn't know what was happening. I was like intrigued the whole time. Second watch, I still really enjoyed it, and I will watch it again. It's one of them films. I feel like, as you said, if you watch it a third time, you might think it's 100% about this, and then you watch it a fourth time, and you're like, oh wait, I was wrong last time. It's actually about this.
Okay, well, I'm going to summarize, give you my score,
go for it.
So that way you guys can end on a good note.
Okay, because I'm about to have a heart attack. Here we go.
Yeah,
right, Adam, hold me back.
For me, right, the film is completely supported by William Dafoe's great acting. And like I say, the camera work is really good as well. But other than that, the plot line is fucking boring. The whole questions more than answers thing is just a pretentious knob-end way to do a film.
Baby, please.
Overall, I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
Fucking hell!
I will not watch this film again,
bro. I'm at
1.5.
Oh my god!
So wait, what did you give Cat in the Hat?
Oh my god!
Well, I think I gave that 1.
I think he gave that like a 1.
Cat in the Hat got 1. This gets 1.5.
Oh my god!
And because I cannot. If I was to watch this film again, I would fall asleep. I genuinely would not be entertained at all. I'll be on my phone.
My jaw is on the floor right now.
So that's why I'm leaving that.
Okay. Adam, do you want to follow that up?
Okay, yeah. Let me just pop to the hospital for a second.
Yeah.
I've just had a severe cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Okay, I pretty much disagree with what Brad said. I don't find the film boring at all. I just find it so entertaining to watch. Every scene, I'm just like, even if they're just cleaning some shit and like they're just having a little banter between them, I still find that fascinating. Like, I could be wrong, like you could be right, and it is the most boring film ever. But to me, I just interpret it as it's weird, but it's just good, you know. I just find it. I just get involved in the film. Like, there's certain films that are definitely not perfect, but you're so captivated and you feel like you're part of the film that it's so enjoyable. But on the second watch, it wasn't as good as I remembered it first watch. And I think that was more because I was so surprised by everything. And one thing Brad said that I do definitely agree with is it could have been more. I feel like it could have been much better with a few more crazy elements thrown in if they like really committed to the surrealism, because I think that would have made it like a masterpiece basically. So yeah, I think it's incredibly well made. Robert Eggers I love as a director anyway. He's got such a unique style. I want to see what he makes next. 100%. It was 5 stars when I first watched it. I'm gonna give it 4.5. It dips down just a little to me because
Brad is frothing at the mouth.
It could have been better. It could have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad's wrong, but we'll carry on.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So 4.5 for me.
For me, so I watched this movie. I was expecting a good movie. I wasn't expecting to like it because I knew it was supposed to be a wanky kind of artsy film. And I've genuinely fallen in love with this film. And I hate myself for saying that. It is some of the best acting and chemistry between 2 actors I've ever seen. They just, for me, they bounced off each other so well. They complemented each other so well. Visually, I was sat there just watching it, just trying to take it all in. It was so good. I enjoyed this film. I cannot wait to watch it again. I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Yeah, boy.
Because if there was more, like you said, Adam, if it just went overboard a little bit, if it went into the realm of just what the fuck, then I think it would be even better. But I don't think it was bad in the slightest. So I'm going to give it a placeholder 4.5.
Do you know why I'm putting this in the category of films though? So Adam, what was that film we watched where it was about the Scientology nut jobs?
Oh, The Master.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Where it's just another film where you've got great acting in, but it's just boring.
No, that's different.
And yet that's a very well reviewed. Like that's a very well reviewed film.
No, The Master, I agree with Brad. That is fucking boring, but I disagree with it. It comes down to personal taste, though. Like, what you find boring, we find engaging. It's weird, you know.
No, it's just I fail to see where people look at these films and think, do you know, that was brilliant. That was so good.
That's fair.
Right.
I'm with Brad. I'm with you 99% of the time.
All right, cool.
Because 99% of the time I'm with you, bro.
All right, cool.
But this time, one of the art films snuck through into Dillon's radar.
It snuck through. Yeah. This is almost as good as Green Lantern.
Right, moving on Green swiftly. Brad, you gave it a 1, so you're literally giving this half a star more, and that just makes me
you're not, Brad. Come on, man.
He said what he said.
He's he doubled down.
Oh, Dillon's rating of Cat in the Hat is higher than my rating for this. Oh.
So, on that note, obviously now I'm angry and now I'm pumped up. So a perfect time to talk about our album this week.
Yes.
So
let's get it.
So I wanted to talk about Griselda. So Dillon, you're unfamiliar with Griselda. I take it before listening to this album. So Griselda are 3 rappers from Buffalo. Okay. And they're basically, I suppose you could call them like the new old school rappers. So even though they're like new rappers, their sound is very like 90s boom bap, but with a bit of a modern twist, especially with the use of ad-libs, because ad-libs galore, mate. Just ad-libs all over this album, as me and Brad have been doing ever since we heard this album, just walking around the house, just like, hey, yo, the butcher coming. It's just like constant loop in my head. It's just bull.
Yeah.
But so you've got West Side Gun, you've got Benny the Butcher, and you've got Conway the Machine, right? So West Side and Conway are brothers, and then Benny's also the cousin. This album is What Would Chinegun Do? And Chinegun is basically a former member of Griselda and one of their cousins as well, or half brother. And his name was Marcello Lowry, but he was known as Machine Gun Black. Okay. So he was a rapper, and I think he was murdered. So this album is dedicated to their former rapper.
Okay, so this is like member, for him, kind of like in memory.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like some of the song titles are like named after him. And there's a lot of mentioned like references to what would Chinegun do, Chinegun. That's basically talking about their former friend. They released about 20 mixtapes last year. So basically, Conway and Westside, they just put out projects like every 3 weeks. They're literally just chucking out mixtapes, right?
Fair.
But to me, you hear that and you're like, if they're putting out that much music, it's all going to be trash. Somehow, it's all fire, right? I'm giving away my review there. Yeah, so this they signed to Shady Records, so obviously Eminem's label, last year.
Makes sense. Okay.
This is their debut album on Shady, right? So this is their first like push from a label, and they are blowing up. To be fair, they're definitely getting out there.
Damn.
Right. So we'll go to Brad first because yours will be short, but your sort of like history before listening to this album.
At first, right, Griselda was a cool feature to me because it was sort of like that old school type with a new style, right? But the one thing I always got annoyed with previously was Westside Gun, right? Because I couldn't get past his voice to begin with.
Same for me.
And Dillon, just in case you're wondering, Westside Gun's the one's, hey yo.
Yeah.
Right. Hanging out the Royce with the Russian, everybody ducking. But yeah.
Okay.
But that is sort of sunk into me a little bit the more I listened to it. And as time has proceeded on and listening to the album this time around, that is like fully formed into just part of the group for me now. And it's like it's so set there now. So for me, like Westside Gun actually in some songs adds a really good feature for me personally. I've always said I thought Conway the Machine had the best rapping.
Yeah.
Because he sort of has that flow, that cocaine flow, you know. But I also feel that there's a lot of songs in here where Benny actually outshines guys just with his lyrics.
We'll get to that.
For me, overall, I really do enjoy this album, and I'd like to say I look forward to just going through a couple of these songs. So,
and cool. Dillon, first impressions, because you'd never heard of Griselda at all.
So the name Griselda sounds sick, right? That's the first thing I thought. I was like, hey, that sounds sick. All right, then I pressed play, and then I was, wow. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. I was expecting, just not this. But we move.
Right, let's go through the tracks then. So the first song on the album is an intro, and what's most interesting about this intro is the person doing the intro, which is just talking over an instrumental, is Raekwon the Chef. So we spoke about Old Dirty Bastard and Wu-Tang Clan previously. Raekwon is part of Wu-Tang Clan, which was obviously massive hip hop group in New York in the 90s. And to me, this is like evidence that he's kind of passing the torch onto Griselda. You know? I mean, it is because
that's the corniest shit I've ever heard.
Why else would a Wu-Tang Clan member be introing your album?
Yo, I like what Griselda's doing. They're doing it right.
I mean, that's what he's saying. That's literally what he's saying. But, right? Your debut studio album, imagine one of the best rappers of all time introing it, saying how good you are. They must be gassed. They must be like,
but imagine having Eminem on your last ever song on the album, you know.
We'll get to that. Don't fast forward just yet. Right. Second song, which is the album starting proper. Okay.
Yeah.
Chef Dreads. So this is the second single from the album. And straight away, you've just heard Raekwon, and then this song is very Wu-Tang Clan influenced. Like a lot of the production on this album is very similar to RZA and like that old school sound.
One thing I will say though is this is a lot cleaner.
Yeah, I mean it's like modern 90s boom bap, but like sort of trappy elements in there as well.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say trappy elements at all.
Nah, true. Actually, we'll end that. I'm chatting shit. All right. Anyway, so straight away, Dillon, first Griselda song. Let's hear it.
So, let's start. So I said that this beat goes fucking hard with the violin thing, right? Madness, right? I enjoy that, right? And then the first line of this entire fucking album was, hanging out the rolls with the Russian.
Hanging out the Royce with the Russian.
Oh, yeah,
That's
Royce,
what I meant.
sorry,
Yeah.
Royce.
Everybody ducking. Only 5 people got hit. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's the energy.
Yeah.
That line, I wasn't ready for it, and I didn't know it was that kind of album. You know?
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for
that's
that.
West Side straight in.
Okay.
With like just what this album's gonna be
Just
as soon as you
gang
hear that,
shit.
because they're gonna be killing people on this album.
Straight gang shit,
and you're
right?
gonna love it.
Just to give you a bit of background on Conway as well, is that he has been shot in the face and his face is actually disfigured, which leaves him with kind of a speech impediment.
Yeah,
that's a madness. That is
so
sick.
that's why his voice sounds like that on this album.
That is sick.
Yeah, he basically contracted Bell's palsy from getting shot in the head and the face and the neck.
Bro, that's madness.
That's why his style is
He's
like
a fucking unit.
He's a machine. He's the machine.
He's the machine. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. What about the rest of the song then, Dillon?
So I said, what the fuck? These ad libs are fucking hilarious. That's what I said. I wasn't. See, you guys doing that didn't prepare me at all for the fact that it was worse than that. It is so much all the time.
Yeah, it's an onslaught. It's an onslaught.
Yeah, I said that this song is fine, and it's not bad,
right?
But it's not good.
Okay,
that's what I said.
Bring us back down to that. Right?
Yeah. I said it just kind of exists in my musical kind of library. It's not down here and it's not up here. It's right in the middle. It exists for me.
Okay,
that's
I'll
what I
step
said.
in then.
Yeah, please.
The one word to describe this song for me is just hype. This gets me hype. As soon as the album kicks off, that beat comes in, the opening line is just hard as fuck. And then the rest of the song is just basically like a 2-minute onslaught of bars about killing people, cooking crack, and ad-libs.
Yeah.
It goes
There's
so
a lot of crack and killing in this album.
Yeah, but to me, West Side Gun is actually my favorite on this song. So
really?
Yeah, because like what we've said before, Brad, is that Conway was always my favorite. Whenever I listened to Griselda, I found West Side
I remember you chatting up with Benny before. You were saying, "No, Benny's your boy," and then we saw some live. We saw some live freestyles of Conway, and you was like, "No, actually, Conway's better."
No, it started with Benny, then it went to Conway, and then this song specifically, I just find West Side. His style is so unique and so like in your face that I just fucking love it, and like his bars are like funny on this song as well. But yeah, this song is a straight banger. To me, the second best song on the album.
Fair.
Fire.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to go into a little more about the sort of sound of it, because obviously it's it has got that sort of referencing sort of noise, the same as what you say with fucking what wasn't they called? Like say for RZA's production. Yeah. Except that this is just so much cleaner, and that when the drums hit, it's not like, it doesn't feel distorted or there's not any sort of white noise behind it. It's clean, right?
Yeah.
And as well, throughout this album's production, the production is, although the drums don't change an awful lot because that's what you sort of expect from this style. There are so many cool features in sounds that happen throughout songs, and this song is just another one of those that has just really cool sound features. Yeah, so for me, the aggressive flow, the attitude of it, the lyrics, it was all come into like a one nice picture there, and just really enjoy the song.
I'll just mention that the entire album is produced by Derringer and Beat Butcher as well. So those two, they're basically Griselda's like in-house producers, and the entire production is just them two alone.
Okay.
So track number 3, Mazel. Okay. So to me, this one, you come in with that fire from the first song. This one's a bit more laid back, a bit slower, but this song's also really gritty. So this just sounds to me like I'm just like riding in a convertible and I'm about to cause a shootout, you know? I'm just like riding with my boys about to go to war. It sounds menacing, right?
Okay.
And then this one, I feel like Benny stands out because he had some amazing lyrics on this one. One of my highlights is when he says, "I'm 5'8", but when I stand on my bricks, I'm 6'11". It's just like, bro, that's so hard, like literally. And then like West Side Gun's verse is so different on this song. Like he's basically, I can't tell if he's off beat or not. He's just doing some like weird off kilter shit, and I love it. To be fair, it's like weird, but to me this song's like, it's like that braggadocious rap where they're basically just gassing each other up about how much money they have, and how much drugs they sell.
What I've said about this song is it's literally a song just to flex.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's literally a song to flex.
Literally. Yeah. And also one thing I really like about this song, which is different from the others, is the guitar. There's like that guitar sound throughout. And I really like that. I think it works with the production.
Yeah, just to add to the sound of it. But I like the chimes in the background as well. You know, it's just strange hearing those sort of noises in a rap song, especially in modern sort of rap now, because obviously everything's very trap influenced. There's not really this style about. But hearing like there's again just some cool sound noises, like the cool chimes, the subtle bass in the background. It was all really nice. It was really well put together. And yeah, I enjoyed the song as well. So
okay. So I just want to let me just say I'd like to just go last on most of these.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough.
I'd like to go last on most of these. So what I said was that now I was really trying here, so please allow me.
Okay.
I said that I like how they made like it sound kind of like old schooly hip hop with like the crackly kind of like noises, like all that kind of stuff. I thought that was really cool. And that's it. I found this so boring. It's just so slow.
Yeah,
it's slow. It's slow, and it just nothing happens. It's just like one just tone the entire time, right?
There's no chorus, to be fair. A lot of these songs don't have chorus, so it's just kind of bars.
I understand that.
Bars.
Yeah. I don't mind a song with just bars and bars and bars.
I'm trying to think of a song that actually does have a chorus on this album.
I don't think there are.
Bang the one with, and that's basically it.
Well, the one with 50 has a repeated verse, but I mean,
to be fair,
And then I also said, so you guys have already answered what I'm gonna say here,
right? Yeah.
But I said also, who the fuck is that person who sounds like they're 9 years old? It literally makes me laugh when they're spitting.
Bro,
I said this multiple times, right? Throughout this entire thing. This 9-year-old makes me fucking laugh. He just starts speaking.
Right.
And
Dillon, I will answer that for you, okay? Because me and Brad had the same reaction when we first heard Griselda. I could not get into West Side at all. Yeah. His voice is so high-pitched and so, like, strange that you don't get it. And then,
honestly, I don't.
One day it clicks. Honestly, if you listen to this album enough, I bet you it'll click. Because one day, right, I was just like, hang on a sec. This guy's not shit. This guy's fucking sick.
In my head, all I've got is like, I'm looking at 3 cartoon characters. I'm looking at 2 dudes who are fucking stacked. I'm looking at this guy who's really small and fucking chunky, and he's got a tiny little voice. That's what I've got in my head right now. I'm looking at like, Pinky and the Brain. That's what I'm kind of looking at. I cannot get over that. I'll listen to this album again.
No, it's funny,
it's
Dillon,
a 9-year-old
you're not that far off.
Right.
There we go.
Dillon, I just need to make a point. You better hope that no one from Griselda hears this podcast. Otherwise, you're fucked, mate. You better go into hiding.
I will say it with my chest that his voice is weird.
You won't say that if he's standing in front of you.
I won't see him. He's too short, and that's coming from me.
Listen, no. Short.
I don't care. In my head, he's 4'1". Right, let's go. We move.
Right, we move on. Anyway, Dillon's about to get shot. Right.
Yeah.
Next song. So we got Cruiserweight Coke, track 4. So to me, this sounds like I'm in a gangster film. I'm in fucking Casino with Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. So for me, this song's like, it's hard to put into words, but it's kind of like classy rap. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to present the air.
Hold on a second, right? You want to call this classy rap when one of the lyrics is, "I know where your mama stay, I know where that bitch stay."
Maybe not the lyrics, just the production, right? But yeah, as you say, some of the lyrics in this are so offensive and blatant and disrespectful that I can't help but love it. It's literally like, have you ever seen the meme where there's like a guy driving to work and he's like some white guy bobbing his head?
Oh yeah,
it's like me on my way to work listening to music about people getting shot up and cooking crack, right? That is me. That is literally me. I'm listening to this thinking I'm a gangster in New York, right? But I'm literally in Kent riding a bike with a helmet. And I'm like, I'm the most dangerous motherfucker on the planet. Because, right, these Griselda make you feel that way, even when you're the least gangster person in the world, right? But yeah, to me, I'll just finish on this, right? West Side Gun describes murdering someone scarily accurately. So his whole verse is a story about him murdering someone, disposing of their body, and then he starts shouting, as you said, Brad, about he knows where your mama stays, he knows where that bitch stays, and it's implied that he's gonna murder.
Your grandmama stays.
That to me is real hip hop. I'm just like, I can't help but find it funny, you know? But this song to me, like, this goes back to being more rapid. And for me, that makes it much better than the last song as well, because their flows are kind of like mad on this song.
Joe, all I'm hearing right now is that Tommy Lauren clip where she's like, your husband was a drug dealer. Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I actually really enjoy this song. Not that I haven't liked the song so far, but this has more of like a lazy feel to it.
Yeah.
It's more of like a authentic. Well, I was about to say, because from Conway, I feel like he has the best verse on this song. And it's because he comes across as so authentic. It feels like this sort of style fits his voice perfectly, because it's just like rolling it straight off, and it's just like it feels effortless in a way.
Yeah.
And just to add from the sounds as well, is that they had some like wobbly keyboard going on. There was like some guitar screeches. I love that bit. Yeah, again, it was just a really cool aesthetic to this track. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Dillon?
Okay. So I said up until this point, all the songs sound exactly the same. There's a slow droning beat with slow boring rapping. That's what I said. I said I'm bored and the ad-libs sound dumb at this point. Like, it was funny at first, but now they're like slowly rapping, like going through, and you just got some guy like boop, 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 and it's
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then I said,
you did that scarily well, bro.
Yeah,
thank you. I've been practicing. And yeah, hopefully I can, fucking join these guys and actually put out a good song. But I also said that there was one point where they were just doing gun sounds, right? I can't do it, like the rolling gun sounds, right?
For like 15 seconds, it was just like...
Yeah. I said it sounds like a 9-year-old just got his first toy gun and he's making sounds because it don't work.
Stop.
He's
you
playing
are
with his
going
Hot
to
Wheels.
get killed. I'm
Bro,
warning you.
come to... Listen, Griselda, if you're listening, right, roll through. Come on. But honestly, I did not enjoy this. There was nothing different about this song to the last song for me. Obviously the lyrics, but lyrically, I mean, I'm not there, you know?
I will agree there is a specific sound, and
very
it doesn't
specific.
change that much. So it kind of depends on your tolerance of that sound, I guess.
Yeah.
In your defense.
Yeah,
so
right.
Next song, maybe
we move.
Sound different. Freddie Hotspot.
We move.
Right. So for me, the word that describes this is dark. So the production is like really dark sounding.
Yeah.
I really love the piano and the vocal sample.
The
vocal sample especially, I really like. It's like an old soul sample that loops throughout the whole track. And it kind of crops in at the end of people's bars as well. And it like really adds to what they're saying. It kind of reminds me of like a Kanye song, like an old Kanye produced song with that like sound. And for me, this song, Conway's bars. Conway comes in on this song and he just fucking rides the beat and destroys it. So my favorite lyric of Conway's on this, right, is got my shooter with me and my dog itching. He wanna empty out a clip where your mom's living. And I'm just
fucking
like,
hell.
I'm just like, calm down, bro. Can you just stop? Like, why are you so angry? But also, yeah, like him on Conway loves these dark, grimy beats. As soon as he gets on a beat like this, he's going to describe murdering your entire family, and I'm gonna sit there and go
and listen.
This is fucking bars.
Brad?
Fair.
I just want to add to the lyrics as well. There was a lyric from West Side as well, where he's talking about like approaching someone, and it says, "One of us gotta go. It ain't gonna be me." And I was just like, "Fuck, man, you a dead man, bro."
Yeah, Dillon.
Yeah, as well. This song felt like it was the first one that had a bit of story to it. Because a lot of the songs before was just flexing drugs. This one had more of a story about it. It seemed like there was more of an element of something in there. I didn't quite grab what it was, but it felt like there was definitely more of a story in there.
Yeah.
And as well, the track had some nice keys as well. I really like the keys on it. But yeah, it also had a nice little bass switch up at the end as well. That was quite cool.
One thing I do agree is that the little piano here and there is classy.
Yeah,
you know? It's nice. It sounds good. The beat in this one I quite enjoyed, to be fair. It was a little bit different to everything else. And again, I didn't do anything for me. This entire thing. There was nothing there to grab my attention. You know, there was
not even Conway coming in with those hard bars saying he's gonna kill you. Didn't grab
That's
you?
the thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like this album's definitely not like the target audience is not me.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair enough. That is true.
Yeah, the songs for me, it just all sounds so similar. It's just one really simple drum beat with some instrumentals over it, and then some like really slow rapping. I understand that there's skill to it, but
I disagree with the slow, to be honest.
There's like a flow, like it's like an authentic style to it, though. That's
this song,
See,
they weren't
you say
slow
there's a
on,
style.
This song, they had very rapid flows across the beat. The beat was slow, the rapping wasn't.
I think I'm just spoiled by other shit. That's what it is. In my head, I'm listening. I want to listen to something quick, fast paced. When I think of rap, I don't think of slow, melodic kind of like. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe we should give you some Busta Rhymes next time.
Maybe. Yeah.
Honestly, there you go. That's what I need. I need 150 beats per second.
Let's move on to Dr. Birds. Okay, this is where it could end badly, where there could be some bloodshed. All right.
Tell Bird you right brick on my brick.
Birds is the first single from this album. I'm gonna start off by saying this is my favorite song on the album.
This is the best track on the album.
This is to me one of the best hip hop songs that I've heard in the last couple of years.
You look so depressed, Dillon.
The beat on this, oh my god, bro! This beat, the hard is not even the word. This beat slaps. My spine came out while I was listening to it. Dillon, let me finish. Yeah, let me finish. Right?
I ain't said shit.
Pure fire. This song, you have to sit up and pay attention, right? And I'm just fucking bopping my head the whole time, right? You saying before about like slow rapping this, they're finishing each other's bars and they're like spitting a 2-bar and then someone else comes in, rapid delivery over this beat, right? And this, I just had like the biggest stank face ever while listening to this. And write brick on my brick, that's so catchy. Me and Brad do that constantly, just write brick on my brick.
What's that even mean?
Catchy as fuck.
He wants Virgil to write brick on his actual brick,
you know, Dillon don't know. He don't know.
He talks a lot about Off-White, and then he's talking about Virgil, and then he talks about his bricks. You know, bricks is a metaphor for cocaine, bro.
Yeah. See, Dillon, it goes over your head tops. Anyway, right. For me on this song, the flows are incredible. They are surfing on the beat. All of them are incredible, but the standout for me on this is Conway. Conway is so fucking good on this song. I just love everything he says, right? And when he says, if it's smoke, we ain't even asking, pull up and somebody gonna see a casket. Bro, that's the hardest line I've heard in years. I had to press pause. and I just had to sit back for a minute.
You just had to check behind him, see if he was behind you.
My phone overheated when he said those bars. Yeah, no,
Oh,
I love this song. This song is incredible to me. This is hip hop condensed into a song. Brad.
fair enough. No, let me go
All right,
because
you
I
go
don't
next then, Dillon. Right.
I don't want to this song to end on a downer. So I said that up until now, again, the songs all seem to blend together. I had to keep checking to see if like the song had like switched over to the next song.
Okay.
I said slow drum beat, bit of bass, bit of piano or bells, lots of and then you got a child spitting bars, and then after that, I said the rapping. I obviously these guys are probably about it. Like I don't doubt that they're gonna I don't doubt that they're gonna petrol bomb me now.
Dillon, they definitely are. Trust me.
I know
they will kill you.
Just look at Conway's face.
I don't doubt that, right? But I said, everything just feels forced. All they're doing is going, "Oh, I'm selling drugs. I shot a bitch in the face." Like,
I mean, that's true,
that's all it is. There's nothing else to it, to the rapping.
But that's their real life. Right, they're just speaking what they live, bro. You don't understand.
Again, see, this is where the disconnect is. Then I think this is not for me. This album's not for me.
Okay.
So I just spit.
Brad, all you.
Look at all this off-white shit that I get. I'm rich. Put this off-white shit on my bitch.
Bro, did he just put the recording on now? What the fuck?
Nah, this is my favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
It bangs. Like everyone has good flow on this. Everyone has good energy. The album comes in with good metaphors. It's like, as well, Adam, you spoke to me before about Benny's verse where he says about the Henry Hill bar, and you're like,
yeah. That gets me hyped.
So yeah, no, this whole, and also the way Benny ends as well. Benny ends strong as well. Nah, for me, bangs.
Fair enough.
Fair.
So track number 7, The Old Groove, featuring Novel or Novell. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. To me, this song isn't great compared to some of the other songs. Following
Do you know
up,
what, right? This is on the album where I sort of faltered a little bit because I was a bit like, you know, it feels like they've already done this on the album and it didn't hit me as well.
To me, the way you could just sort this song out, because this song is like 6 minutes long, it feels very stretched and there's like long passages of just the instrumental playing out. I don't think the instrumental really warrants that because, Dillon, you've said some of the beats sound the same. To me, this does seem like a bit of a throwaway 90s beat, you know? It doesn't really stand out. To me, if you just cut a couple of the verses shorter, like half them, squeeze it down a bit, then I'd probably enjoy it because I really enjoyed the feature on this one.
Yeah,
I really
me too
enjoyed
as well.
the singing
That's again,
segment at the
that's
end.
something else what I said.
Yeah. Because it's different from what you've heard before. You've just been like, you've just had bars thrown at you about crack and murdering. I did quite like the soulful singing at the end. And I felt like the rest of the song, it took too long to get to that bit, basically. So you could have shortened it a bit.
It's kind of interesting when they've spent the song talking about like crack and killing people, and then the vocalist is talking about going to Sunday, like church on Sunday. It's like it's just...
See, I picked up on that. The singing changes it up for me. The singing, it's a nice refresher, you know, of what's gone on. But also, this song made me angry because at first I was listening to it and I was like, for fuck's sake, again. That I was getting pissed off right at this point, and I was so glad there was like a reprieve of just something different for me. Yeah. So this was a song that I enjoyed more than the other ones up until now, mainly because there was something a little bit different in there, you know.
Oh. Yeah, so for me, I basically said the same thing, pretty much the exact same thing Adam says. Yeah, really, the song definitely could have done with being a bit better. I agree exactly with what you said about the verses. They could have condensed their own verses down a little bit, and maybe even given like Novel or Novell, as however you want to pronounce it, maybe even a longer feature because I feel like he had a really good impact on this song. So
yeah, you definitely didn't need all 3 of them, and I swear these are like their longest verses on the album. And the verses don't really stand out, especially with like what's come before. So at least we're all in agreement for one song, you know.
Yeah. Maybe the next one. Who knows? Yeah.
Right. So track number 8, Scotty's. Okay. So to me, this song is intense. very, very short, but they get in and out. They say what they gotta say.
To be honest
then
with
they
you,
dip, you know.
I feel like they're better when they are working in shorter like time
Yeah,
frames.
no, I agree, because as Dillon's saying, like, he feels it gets a bit samey. I feel like if you're rapping that way for like 2 minutes straight, eventually you're gonna tire of it a little bit.
Well,
whereas this song, they come in intense, you know.
Especially if you're not using choruses,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you can get in and out. Don't use the chorus. 2.5 minutes for a song we can all get a verse in. It sort of works perfectly in that sort of area.
So for me, this is another one of like my favorites on the album. This is probably my joint second favorite. And this I like the horror movie organs.
Yeah.
This song sounds very like dark again. And the way I describe it is you're going into a graveyard to dig up a body and steal some shit. That's how it felt to me. Right. Yeah, like I feel like Benny's storytelling on this song is really good as well. Like,
do you know what? I've highlighted Benny's verse.
Yeah, we've criticized them for not necessarily saying anything in their verses, but I think on this song, Benny does stand out. And yeah, it's just short and crisp, and it just comes in, is a banger, and then it gets out of there, you know?
Yeah, it also comes with a really cool back and forth between Conway and Westside as well. It's just like a nice hit and throw, you know? So yeah, for me, again, I actually really enjoyed the song as well. So I'll stand with you on that.
For me, I said that I like the beat is different. It's got this like weird stringy vibe to it.
Yeah.
But it's got like some like horror strings to it. I said that was really cool. That was that was the only nice thing I had to say about it. But again, I don't want to repeat myself over and over, but yeah. That was a nice part. It was nice. It was nice.
So moving on to probably your favorite song on the album.
Right, here we go.
Here we go.
Track number 9, not really a track, but number 9, 45-second long interlude song. I mean,
interlude, definitely an interlude.
Kennedy featuring Tiona Denise.
Favorite song on the album.
To me, right, this song, I mean, to me, it's not really a song, but
it's a song.
This is
best one.
This is the second worst song on the album because it's basically just completely pointless. And Dillon, I can imagine you were foaming at the mouth, seething listening to this because the whole song is just Westside Gun screaming and doing ad libs. Literally, it's 45 seconds of blow your fucking face up.
Right, so here's what I wrote word for word, right?
Cool.
Blow your fucking face off is exactly what I wanted to do. That's what I said. And I gave this my favorite song on the album.
Shut up. You know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I actually kind of enjoy this bit.
It was funny.
I'm not sure if it's for comedic value or because I just actually enjoyed it. But I mean,
I think it's intentionally funny. I feel like they're playing up that people probably find the ad libs annoying. So they're just like, fuck it, we'll do it.
Yeah, they're 100% about like, oh, you think it's annoying? We're gonna do it twice now.
That's what they're doing.
Honestly, I enjoyed it.
That is a feature of Westside Gun, to be fair, because he has mentioned before that he doesn't want to rap. He doesn't enjoy rapping. He basically only did it because they needed another member. He's like never considered himself a rapper. He just calls himself an artist. And he basically says like, if you think I'm shit, then whatever, I'm going to kill you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, he also, like say, when they go do freestyles and stuff, he doesn't do freestyles.
Nah, because he don't enjoy rapping. I respect that. He's just like, I'm just going to do some do's and shout for a bit. And somehow it works for me, you know? Right, so moving on. So next song, City on the Map, featuring probably our first like big name feature, 50 Cent.
Big 50.
50 Cent has basically not released a good song in 15 years.
And that still doesn't come in here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously back in the early 2000s, Fiddy was the man. Everyone loved him.
Yeah.
Personally, I used to really enjoy his music, and then he reached a point where he just stopped putting out anything good for years. So 50 Cent on an album in 2019, kind of like, what's he going to give us? To me, 50 Cent's verse on this starts off really, really, really bad.
Oh, it's like, so bad.
Terrible.
So bad.
Immediately off-putting. And then the rest of the verse is kind of just pointless. Like
I
he's
do
literally
my
just there.
homework.
Yeah,
I do
my homework.
my own work. Like, fuck
yeah,
off.
and it's like you're on a song with Benny, Westside, Conway. You better come with them bars. And he's just like, shit. Okay, obviously he's on the song because it's on Shady Records, and putting 50 Cent on your album is gonna help your sales, you know.
Do you know what disappoints me even more with this is that the beat is fucking fire. Like this could be the best beat on the album. Like this beat is sick, right? And 50 Cent fucking destroys it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
it doesn't
pissed me off so much just hearing his verse. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
It is bad. It is bad. To me, like, to me, his verse is really bad, and it stands out as being really bad. But it didn't ruin the song for me because, as you said, the beat is really good.
It just pissed me off.
Yeah, I agree with that. To me, this song feels like I'm playing poker with some mobsters. You know what I mean? It's again, it's got that classy gangster feel. Like the beat is so like slick. Which sounds good, you know.
There's one thing they keep like the last like 3 or 4 tracks as well. They just keep putting like these weird ghost noises in. I love it. I'm just like, I'm hearing these weird spooky noises. I'm like, I love this shit.
So what I said was that 50 Cent was stinky on this beat.
oh, stinky.
Stinky. He was literally stinky. I zoned out, right? I'll admit, I got to admit something, right, to you boys, right?
Okay.
I zoned out 3 times during this song, and I had to kept replaying it over. I zoned out the first time, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I need to listen to this."
Right.
That happened 3 times.
That happened to me
song.
during 50's verse. To be fair,
it happened to me 3 times.
How could anyone have listened to this back and be like, "Hey, 50, that's a fire verse, bro. Let's get down the album."
No, but what do you say to 50?
It's their boy,
what do you say to him?
It's their boy. That's what I mean.
You say,
Eminem,
bro, that's a trash verse.
No, but Eminem would be like, bro, you've got to have 50 on there. And then Benny probably listened to it and he's like, boys, this is fucking shit. And then
how much of a decision do you reckon it is to have Eminem on this album?
We'll get to that. Hold that thought, Brad. Hold that thought.
Right.
Dylan, any more thoughts of sitting?
No, he was just stinky. That's
so
it.
50 just ruined the song for both.
This gets stinky out of 10.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so next song, May Store, featuring Keisha Plum. So for me, this beat sounds really different from what we've had before. It has still got that like boom bap elements, but there was like weird static sounds in the background. It was a bit glitchy. You've got dark piano in there, so again, it's kind of like that darker horror movie aesthetic. And like the bass in this song, it lands at the end of each bar and it like rises.
That actually kind of annoyed me.
Really? Oh, to me, that really added to the punchiness of their verses.
Do you know what? I felt like this song would have been way better if they put bass all over it.
Ah, fair enough. Actually, I really enjoyed the production on this one. That was one thing I noted. And to me, like the flows on this song, I mean, I've said before, they're not the most intricate rappers ever. They're not gonna like bar you to death with intricate syllables and like all this crazy shit. But their flows, they flow on the beat so effortlessly. Yeah, I really like this. And with this song as well, I found like Westside, even though he only has like 4 bars and then he just starts doing some random shit. For me, I liked him the most on this song. I really enjoyed his like little mini verse because it's just like really intense. I can tell Dillon is about to disagree entirely with everything I've just said.
I want to come in. So like, I felt really indifferent about this song because I feel like Benny, right? Benny kills it, right? For me, right? Then Conway just floats. He just floats through it a little bit. Like so, I've got that bass line that's kind of annoying me just at the end of every line. And I'm saying, I wish there was a bit more bass, like bopping around the place. And then Westside comes in, right? And he's completely off.
I like that.
His entire verse is completely off. And
I know
whether he was too drunk or stoned at the time, whether he was just like didn't give a fuck because he's just like
I think he just
West Side.
Don't care. He just doesn't care.
He just doesn't care. But that verse was completely off. That fell completely out of place.
See, I liked the fact that it was so off kilter and crazy, but obviously we discussed Old Dirty Bastard and you two disagreed with that. So I just like weird rapping styles.
No, it's not It's not the style though. It's how he just fell off the beat.
Yeah,
he just completely fell off of it, and he was talking through half of it as well. So he wasn't even rapping.
Yeah, true. One thing I will say though is the outro goes on way too long on this song. It's like 1.5 minutes of Keisha Plum describing ways that they're gonna murder you and all of this like random shit. And I felt like after about 1 minute, I was just like, wait, is this still going?
So I said that. So I'm gonna do a complete 180 here. Yeah. I'm just gonna say that there's something on this song that just kind of changed my entire opinion of this album.
Right.
And that the ad-libs are now the best thing about this album.
Right. Here we go.
The ad-libs were fucking hilarious. It gave me some sort of joy listening to this guy just going fucking mental on this beat. He just goes off for no reason. He just
There's no need
he's a fucking nutter. Yeah, it's hilarious. It added to me for this song. This song would have made me jump out of my 7-story window. But he started ad-libbing, and I was like, all right, I'll stay. That's what I thought. Yeah. Cool.
Although I do feel like this song's not as good as others on the album.
No,
it's trash.
Then we get an outro. So we've got an outro from AA Rashad. I'm not entirely sure who that is, to be honest, but because the song is called Lowry, and that's obviously who the album is dedicated to, I assume this is kind of like a tribute to him. So I mean, it's just there's not much to say. It's just an outro with a beat in the background. But one thing I will say is this beat deserves some bars on it to me. I felt like the beat was so like dark and like just fucking weird. I would have liked if Conway just came in and said like 4 bars about killing someone. But,
and add a sprinkle of murder there.
Just a little sprinkle of murder.
A little bit of cocaine.
Just to finish off the album. Yeah. But obviously it's just an outro. So
I said that there was a line in this which was really cool. It said, "Some things never die," and I wrote, "I hope this album is not one of those things. I hope it dies."
There's just no need for that, to be honest. Like we was all
that is what I said.
But...
No, we're not. We're not having a good time.
Okay, right. Then. So
now I'm ready for a good time. Now I'm ready for a good time.
Let's go. On the album, I feel like this is going to be controversial. Okay, so Bang remix featuring Eminem. I'm going to start, and I'm going to say, Solidified. This is the worst song on the album. So to me, this song is unnecessary, and there's one reason and one reason only that this song is put at the end of the album, and that is so that Eminem could have a feature and he gets his own beat that's completely different to the rest of the guys.
So Eminem can get the final say on the album, right?
That's and I was just about to say that pisses me off, because the whole album, you've got your new label people, right? Debut album, you've chucked them on this album and they've all got their bars, and then the final verse on the entire album is Eminem. And
but as well, just a minute,
right?
So his verse, right, was horrible, right? His switch up with the whole new tuning that they've thrown into him did not fit the album whatsoever, right? And then the second switch up, right, was even worse. So what the fuck were they thinking on this? Like, genuinely, right? Because just up until this point, right, Conway, right, was showing off some personality to begin with. He was barring. It was sick. Benny comes in. He throws some mad lyrics in there. Let me show you off a lyric, right? Hated on me more than Jesus, locked up more than Kodak. I was just like, fuck, man, that's hard, right? And then and then I'm like, I cool. This can't go wrong. And then Eminem comes in.
Yep. Let me just finish my point on that, Brad, because we're in agreement, right? So Conway has like the really sick, aggressive bars, as you said. Benny's got his lyricism in there. They're all showing off what they've shown on this album already, right? And you're like, they're capping it off. I like the beat at first. Like, I'm like, yeah, this beat's hard. Right, here we go. Eminem's opening line to this album about dealing crack, shooting people, and mass murder,
curb stomping heads,
is about how he's fucking pink like a flamingo. Like a flamingo.
Oh, no,
okay.
pause.
No. Right.
What?
Eminem
Bro, did you not catch that?
decided to
What?
sabotage this album for no reason. Why? Yes, Dillon, you're in shock.
That was a
He
lyric.
literally said his opening, but right, no, it's even funnier, right? Because you've just heard Conway talking about shooting. He's like, oh, I got OKs for shooting, boom, right? All of this mad hard shit, the hardest shit you've ever heard. You're like, yeah, fucking yes, I'm about to kill someone. And then Eminem comes on and goes, I'm fucking pink like a flamingo. And then he starts doing his rapid fire bars that have been dead for 10 years. Where he's like, and then an orange door hinge, 4 hinge on a floor hinge. And you're just, what the fuck are you doing? Get off this album. Right. Dillon, what are your opinions on Bang Remix?
Right. So here's the thing, right? I didn't look at any of the song titles or any of the features before I started. So I was just playing them, just going through them. And I saw this, right? It popped up, Bang, beat Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
Straight away, first thing I wrote down is, of course, this album has fucking Eminem on it.
Yeah.
Right? Eminem, to me, right now, is just, if he's involved or there, it's just not a good time.
Yeah,
It just isn't.
He's so corny now. It doesn't fit.
The thing is, just let it die. Just do an Arsene Wenger. Or he's doing an Arsene Wenger.
Whoa. Stop.
He should have gone like 7 years ago. Like, for real, he needs to just step down and just let the kids have their time, you know?
Yeah, although you say kids, like, I don't think they're much younger than Eminem, to be honest. They're like,
no, they're kids. They're kids. One of them's 9 years old, bro. What are you saying? Bro, the kids.
You're
right.
gonna get shot after this. You better.
Bro, listen. I live in London. Let's go. Right.
Right. Get all your boys.
This song. So I wanted to turn this album off, and then the song finished, and then the album finished, and then I stood up, and I took a deep breath, and I was like, finally, it's over. That was it. That was what I thought that song.
That's the thing with me, because as I've mentioned and Brad's mentioned, we've loved like this album up to this point, and then for me,
Eminem
as
ruined
soon as
it for
I
me.
get to this album, this song, sorry, I will just listen to the verses, and then as soon as the beat switch up happens, and I know Eminem's coming on, just end the album, and then it doesn't leave the final voice on a Griselda album, Eminem chatting shit.
I will say, I will agree with you there. Eminem ruined it even more. He leaves a sour taste in your mouth, you know?
From a business point of view, it makes sense that Eminem is on your album, because Griselda aren't the biggest rappers in the world. They're coming
of course,
from the
and Eminem
right?
is.
Yeah, he's one of, you can't argue that he is one of the biggest rappers of all time, potentially the biggest rapper of all time.
Yeah.
But at least come with some good bars then.
It's just
Don't
not good.
Come with something, just anything to add, not subtract.
In theory, it works. Like, right, if this album came out 10 years ago and you were like, Eminem's on this album, yes.
Fucking
but
hell,
now,
yes, get it.
He's released so much shit that as soon as I saw that name, I was like, oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
This is going to be bad. And it just was. It annoys me because it's the final verse. And like, why? Why are you doing that?
It leaves it on a sour taste, don't it? I've said about it, like in album endings. I've said a lot about album endings over like the course of these few weeks, right?
It's important.
This just leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
But the one thing is, you can tell it's not meant to be the end of the album, because you have an outro and then you have this. It's completely tacked on. It feels just like completely the label's decision to say,
they had no say.
This song, you've also got to put Eminem on it. He's got the final verse on the album. Is that cool? No worry, guys. See you later. Good album, by the way. And it just pisses me off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, moving on. Final thoughts. So, we will start with you, Dillon.
Please, because
you've been the most opinionated. So we'll get out of the way. So, final thoughts on this album.
Final thoughts. I know this album is not for me.
Yeah.
Right. That is very, very clear. is not for me. There are some parts about it I can respect, but again, the target audience is not me. I didn't enjoy any of it. Like, there's nothing I could pick out of there and go, do you know what? I'll listen to that. Nothing for me. So that again, this is just my opinion, but I'm giving this a 1 because I would never listen to it again.
A 1?
A what? Yeah, I'm not giving it a 0. You should be happy with that. I would not listen to any of this ever again. Like, ever.
Bro, all I'm thinking of is that's the same rating you gave to Arctic Monkeys. And it's like, surely you can at least appreciate this on a musical level.
No, I can't, because it was all the same to me. Honestly, this is the same level as Arctic Monkeys for me. It's that unlistenable.
I just shat a brick and then got Virgil to write brick on my brick.
Fuck's sake. See, I don't even get that. Fuck's sake. Right, we move.
Right. We move on before I flip out. Right, Brad.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, so for me, like, it's just a solid overall album. I feel like it's very themed in sort of like their lifestyles.
Yeah.
Maybe it could have done with a bit more storytelling as such, because there is stories in there. It's just not developed.
Yeah.
Some of the verses were the standout performers. Like say the standout performers, you can't really discredit any of them. I'd say saying that any of them were worse than the others, because they all brought something different. Like Westside brought his personality. You had Conway for his just cocaine flow, and then for me, Benny just come in with those punchlines and always had those good verses. Yeah. So yeah, for me, like overall, all three guys sort of matched the challenge. There were some dead ass fucking features. Which bumps it down a little in my opinion. So overall, I'm going to give it 7.
Okay, yeah.
That's 8 points too high, bro. Anyway.
Shut your mouth. 8 points too high.
What you said there, Brad, I pretty much agree with, to be fair. But I think I feel like the highs on this album are so high for me that I'll probably rate it a little bit higher, because this is my shit, basically. It's important to know that, like, Dillon, you're not a hip-hop fan at all.
No.
And me, like...
I like mainstream hip-hop.
Yeah. I've already mentioned that I love Wu-Tang Clan. And to me, Griselda are bringing back that style and that sort of attitude as well, because it's just that gangster rap from the 90s.
Yeah.
It kind of disappeared for a bit, you know? And anytime they mention murdering someone, I enjoy it. Like, I'll straight up
That's fair. It's fair.
And like, as there's like some of my favorite hip hop songs recently on here, but as you said, couple of dead features, couple of songs that you kind of could have left off the album. So to me, like a 7.5 is definitely like for me, you know. But it's an album that I'd listen to a lot and enjoy a lot. But it's definitely got its flaws. So yeah, I'm happy with a 7.5. And we move on before Dillon. Wait, Dillon, I can hear some guys pulling up outside your crib. You might want to go check the front door.
Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Hey, yo, I heard you hated my album.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That sound is going to haunt me for the rest of my life.
I bet you will listen to this album again in 2 months and feel different. We'll see.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
So, Brad, have you got a little question for us?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
I like to make these a bit weird, right?
All right.
So, all right, cool. So, my question is, if there is one celebrity that could punch you in the face, who would you want it to be?
Punch you in the face.
Punch you in the face. So there's a celebrity comes up, smashes you square in the jaw.
This is a great question.
Okay, I know my answer.
Yeah.
Adam, go for it.
Gunnosaurus, the Arsenal mascot. I want him to punch me in the fucking face.
I mean, the Arsenal team already do that anyway, week in, week out. So
they do punch me.
They also shit on you as well every week. Yeah.
No. I want Gunnosaurus to take a run up and just fucking launch those hands at me.
Level one in the face.
Fair.
In front of everyone in the Emirates Stadium. I want to go viral.
Like the halftime show.
First man to get knocked out by Gunnosaurus.
Right. I'll go next. I'm gonna go with Jason Momoa. I want Jason Momoa.
You're gonna be dead. Right.
That's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? I want Jason Momoa to punch me straight in the fucking forehead, right? Purely because.
Dillon,
Yeah, go on.
can I ask a quick question? Is he wearing his Aquaman costume as well?
No, he's wearing nothing. That's the best part about it, right? He's wearing nothing, right? So I want him to punch me straight in the forehead, right?
Yeah.
And if I die, I go down in legend as the guy who died because I got punched by Jason Momoa. And if I survive, there we go. I'm legend. I just win
legend.
at life because I just survived the punch.
Why not go all out? Why stop at Jason Momoa? Why not go with Francis Ngannou?
But listen, see, that's just suicide.
You know what?
I know I might be able to.
There's
Yeah.
What about you, Brad? You must have had a thought about this before.
I've been seriously thinking about it. I'm like, you got a question, right? There's a few things you got to think about, right? So if you're gonna get punched by someone in the face as a celebrity, can you make a bit of money out of it, right?
Oh yeah.
Second of all, do you want someone who's gonna like hit you so hard that you go unconscious, or do you someone that's gonna give you like a pussy hit and then you can smack them back and they're gonna knock them out probably, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right? There's a lot of thought that's going to this process.
There is a lot.
You know?
Way too much thought.
And you know, like when you're saying like Francis Ngannou, I'm like, do you know what? If that man punched me in the face and I lived, I could tell the tale afterwards.
That's true. You could write a book.
But that's the thing.
You could literally write a 2-page book, and it would
Mate,
sell. Like
that's your YouTube channel sorted.
Bro,
I survived.
That's set for life. I'm like, I survived the Francis Ngannou free hit. Oh, honestly, man, that man has the record for the hardest punch in a machine ever.
Yeah.
Joke.
But that's the thing. You won't survive that. I don't think you'd survive that, Brad. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
I feel like I could survive it. He's not gonna.
No, if you're standing there and he punches you, you're dead.
He's not gonna cave.
I'll confirm it. No, I'm fucking hard not, mate. I'll knock him out.
No, do you know that's my answer, Francis Ngannou. I'm taking that hit.
Fair play.
Honestly, I did not expect that we would be discussing this, but
no,
it's been an interesting episode. Okay,
very interesting.
Next episode, we're doing something a bit different because we're actually doing a fan poll to decide what film and album we're watching. So we actually don't have any recommendations for next week. So
weird.
Fan choice episode 10. I'll see you then,
check out the Facebook, you know? Yeah. All right.
Gucci.
See you guys later.
I mean, Dillon, the Facebook will already be done by the time this episode's out. So
well done.
Oh well.
That's why
you know what? We move.
we'll move on, right?
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys next week for our fan chosen edition episode.
Bye
bye.
Later, squad.
Boo.